You're watching The Wellness Hour, news that makes you healthier. I'm Randy Alvarez. Today's topic, you are never too far gone to have the smile you've always wanted. We're talking about what Dr. Willardsen calls full mouth reconstruction, rebuilding your mouth in one day. With us, and he's been on the program before. He's all over television. You've probably seen him on the show, the network show, The Doctors, Dr. Joe Willardsen. Dr. Willardsen, welcome to the program.
Randy, always good to be here with you.
Now, we had you on the program, I think in about 2002. So that was a long time ago.
It's been a long time. You know, I have patients that have seen me on TV and they say, you know what, I've watched you for years. And it all started with the Wellness Hour. But, you know, these patients will say, you know, I've watched you for a long time and I've always wanted to fix my teeth or my smile. And then they finally call.
So they put it off and put it off?
They've put it off and they've put it off. You know, they'll tell me, oh, I kept my phone number or your phone number on my refrigerator, and I finally decided to call.
What is it, by the way? What's their hesitation? Because, I mean, nobody likes the dentist, right?
Right. I think a couple things. I think people, one, are afraid. Two, they feel like maybe they're too far gone. And three, maybe they don't know where to go. And so now when we go through our before and afters and they learn about my practice and what I do, we're going to change all of that.
Okay, good. You're kind of a big, I mean, you are a big name in dentistry now. You're on the show, The Doctors, all the time. What are you on there about?
Yeah, so when as invited doctor on The Doctors, I do full mouth makeovers. We change people's lives. We take someone from a situation where they don't smile or they hide their smile or they've come from really bad circumstances, and we change all of that. We basically give them a new life. And the cool thing about working with the doctors is a lot of times I wouldn't be able to have these opportunities, but it's presented a way where we can actually give back to those people and see them you know, turn into two different...
Like people submit their photos to the show, The Doctors.
Yeah, exactly. You know, sometimes they will submit the patient to me, or I'll find the patient that's the right fit.
Okay, good. Now you brought a lot of photos. We'll get to as many of those as we can. For people that don't know your practice, who's the typical patient? You know, what are you working on these days?
I would say anyone that is unhappy with their smile or feels like they've been held back, or, you know, a lot of times people will they'll go through their 20s and their 30s unhappy, and then their 40s and they're unhappy, and then they finally say, you know what, I've had enough. I've had dentistry done and redone, and I finally want to get it done correctly, and I want a smile that I see on TV, and that's what we do.
Okay, and you see a lot of, now you do dental implants. I mean, you kind of do everything right there.
Exactly. In our office, we try to keep everything in-house, so we can do the dental implants, we can do the smile makeovers. Even general dentistry, we have doctors that do all of that.
Now you do this new kind of crown that helps save the tooth. You say it's the only way to go. That means if you're going to get a crown, you got to do it this way.
That's right. What we're talking about is what's called biomimetic dentistry, where we are saving tooth structure. You know, with a normal type of crown, it's shaved down into a little peg, and then they put a cap over the top of it.
Okay, what's wrong with that, though?
The problem works. Well, it works for a little while, but the problem is it will fail sooner or later. And then what are you left with? There's nothing left of the tooth once that fails to a certain point. So with biomimetic dentistry, we're saving all of that tooth structure. So if something ever did go wrong, we have something to work with. We're not shaving the tooth down. So if you've been told that you need a crown, we highly suggest that you find out more information about the newer, better way of doing that.
Now, you know, people need to know. It's a real interview. I'm not trying to side with you or endorse you. But back in this crown for a second. So there's less than like 2% or 5% of dentists in the country that are doing these small crowns. I'm calling them small crowns. But is that kind of what it is? It's like you're only covering the problem?
Right, you're only covering the problem.
Not the whole tooth.
Exactly, because what happens when you remove the whole tooth, you're basically shaving it down. And so you're right, there's only a small percentage of dentists that are starting to learn this. Now, it won't be long before all of that changes.
You're a teaching center for this, right?
That's right, that's right. We teach other doctors how to do biomimetic dentistry and cosmetics and full mouth reconstruction. We have doctors come in from all over the world learning these new techniques.
Now, when I met you years ago, you know, like 2002, I mean, you called yourself a continuing education junkie. I mean, nonstop. And I used to think, is there really that much to learn?
Oh, there
Really?
is, and it doesn't stop. I'm still learning, I still find myself feeling like I need to learn more, and I love it. I mean, that's what helps.
I mean, what are you learning? I mean, what could you be learning after all these years?
Oh, I mean, here's the thing. In dentistry, there's so many new materials and techniques coming out that dentistry is no longer what it used to be, like when my dad was a dentist. It's just changed. So if you're the type that's afraid of the dentist, or you're afraid of pain, or that you've been to the dentist and always have had to have work done and redone, it's not like that anymore. So if you are in my office, you're gonna see very quickly that things are not like the old school. We are doing things so much more efficient, better, and cosmetic, that it's not the dentistry that people are afraid of.
Does it cost more to go to a guy like you? Because you're on the show, The Doctors, you're all over the place, you're well known.
Right, and I would say it actually costs less. And this is why. Because we're gonna do it right the first time. As dentists, we had techniques that we learned in dental school, and that's the best that we had. But unfortunately, sometimes those new techniques aren't learned, and a lot of dentists get busy in their practice, or they feel like one thing or one way is the right way. But now with these new techniques, I feel that we can do it one time, and that can last 2, 3, 4 times longer than what it used to be.
You're one of these guys that really believes that the smile could, like, change your smile, change your life kind of a thing.
I'm not one of these guys. I know it, because here's the deal.
Okay.
I see patients that come in, they don't date, they don't smile, they are afraid to go after the jobs that they want to, all because of their teeth. Their teeth have defined them into a certain corner. So when we look at this picture, this person, for example, so this is actually one of the patients, a makeover from the Doctor's TV show. She felt like she was too far gone, that there was nothing else that she could do. She had gone through all of these years not knowing where to go, but she knew that she couldn't smile, she was unhappy. I mean, when you look at how that's a forced smile, by the way.
Okay.
I'm having to tell her smile big, and that's as best as she could do, and she hated it. The other thing is, her husband had never seen her with her temporary teeth out. She had teeth that would come in and out. So when I took this photo, she had to take her teeth out, and she's extremely uncomfortable. But here's the deal, and I know you work with a lot of doctors, and you work with some of the best, but these results are not typical. So when you look at this after photo, what do you see?
Very nice, a pretty girl.
Exactly.
She's not her teeth anymore, as you said it.
Yeah, her teeth.
Like, you don't think of her teeth.
Her teeth were defining her before. So her friends, her family, everyone kind of knew her as the bad teeth girl. And that's not the case anymore. Now she's known for a beautiful smile. And that's the other thing, Randy. I don't want people to say, oh, those are nice teeth that you had done. I'm looking for the result of, you have a beautiful smile. And when you look at how she holds herself, and this is the smile that she always wanted, and we were able to do that in a situation where she thought it wasn't possible.
Now, when you use terms like, because today's topic, we're talking about full mouth reconstruction.
Exactly.
Redoing somebody's mouth that's completely broken down.
Right, and that includes...
Is that what you call this kind of a thing?
Exactly, and that includes everything from implants to veneers to biomimetic restorations, everything that it took to go from a broke down, messed up, desperate situation into a completely new smile. Look, she's going to be able to go to her friends, and now everyone's going to say, wow, have you seen her lately? And that's what we're looking for. We're not looking for, oh, she has nice teeth. I'm looking for, wow, she's beautiful.
You say their personality changes.
Oh yeah, their personality changes, their hair changes, the makeup changes, their relationships change. So let me tell you a story. I have a patient who recently had his whole mouth redone. And his kids had talked him into it because he had just got divorced. And so his kids had said, look, Dad, it's time for you to get back on the dating scene. You need to get your mouth fixed. And he did. And I'll tell you what, he's dating again. He's having fun. He's active on social media. He's a different guy just because of fixing his smile. But I would like to say, all right, yeah, we fixed his teeth and that solved everything. But what happened was he learned how to smile again. He learned how to communicate. He learned how to express himself. So it's not just about having straight white teeth. It's the ability to go out there with confidence. And so, he recently went through a divorce, and that's terrible, but now he's found a new life, and that's what I do. That's what we
So
help
you're
these
never
patients.
too far gone, by the way? Because I mean, you almost, not that you specialize in this, but you,
Here's the thing.
you seem to attract these people that their mouths are completely broken down.
Right. I've been doing this for a long time now, and I have patients that come from all over across the country. And I've never met a person that we could not help and get them smiling to where they needed to be.
But they say that, you say to you. They say, Doc, this is the worst I bet you've ever seen.
Oh, all the time. I have patients who say, I'm really embarrassed to come in. I don't want, I'm very nervous to come in. I had one lady come in, and she canceled on me 5 times. She sat in the car and would leave out of the parking lot. We literally had to go out into the parking lot and bring her in because she was nervous. And so that's what happens. I think a lot of...
Did you finally go out and get her?
Yeah, we finally went out and got her. She came in. She went through the smile restoration. And I'm going to tell you, the person that was sitting in my chair crying for 5-10 minutes is trying to get her story out, now comes into the office regularly on a regular basis. She's having fun. She's on social media. She's out there. She's living the life that she wanted to, all because it was held back by her smile.
So with these full mouth cases, these full mouth reconstruction, as you call it, case, so you're addressing their gums?
We're addressing their
I
gums.
mean, root canals, or do you send these out to specialists?
Here's the thing. Specialists are there for a reason. If it's a situation where we need to use a specialist, we will. But when we're seeing these patients, we're dealing with implants, we're dealing with gummy smiles, we're dealing with broken down teeth, root canals, all of it. Because we have to take into account, look, we're getting the bite so the teeth come together, so the cheeks lift, the muscles are working, we get rid of headaches, neck pain, all of those things on top of getting the smile straight and white and designing it out so it looks like teeth. Because here's the other thing that people are afraid of. When they see someone that's had a reconstruction and it looks like a mouthful of chiclets or chalk, they don't want anything to do with it. And I think when people see my before and afters and they see the work that we do, the first thing they say is, I looked at your before and afters, they're the best that I've ever seen. I've been on everybody's website and I've been researching this a long time. And I would say my approach is to make things look natural. Restore the teeth to what they look like back when you were 18. I don't want to give you old man teeth. I want everything to look like it belongs on you.
So you're never too far gone?
You're never too far gone.
What if you have gum disease?
Okay, so
like bleeding gums.
Right, let's say
loose teeth.
Let's say you have bleeding gums and you've got loose teeth and you're out there and this is one of the problems that you have. That's what implants are for. That's what we go in and we reconstruct and do full mouth makeovers between implants and your natural teeth, whatever it needs, and whatever's going to last the longest, because that's the other part about it, is we want this to last a long time. Because there's been so many patients that have come in and maybe they've had their mouth redone and now it all needs to be redone because they're not using those biomimetic techniques. Because right now, we have the ability to make this work last a very, very long time. There's so many patients that come in that have been so afraid or have seen me on TV for a long time and they're like, I can't go to him. He's just too busy or too big or too expensive. That's not the case.
Because you say it could be less than most guys to go see you.
Exactly, because I'm gonna find the easiest, most conservative way of doing this. So sometimes it might mean moving the teeth into position. Maybe it doesn't mean redoing every single tooth. Getting the bite and getting the teeth lined up and getting them looking good, that's what entails a reconstruction.
That's what you do. Okay, we're gonna take a quick break. We come back. I know you have more photos. You're watching The Wellness Hour. I'm Randy Alvarez. We'll be right back. You're watching The Wellness Hour. News that makes you healthier. I'm Randy Alvarez. Today's topic, full mouth reconstruction. Redoing your mouth. You're never too far gone, according to Dr. Willardsen. Okay. Now, for people just tuning in, you're all over TV. You're always on the doctors. So you brought some work.
Yeah.
I mean, is that how they find you? They look at your work, or is just the word on the street? Because I know you know Dr. Drew Orden.
Yeah.
On that show, the plastic surgeon. On that show.
They find me through different TV outlets, or I don't know how they find me. Word of mouth.
Word of mouth. All right.
They just look at someone's nice smile and they say,
That's right.
Who's your dentist?
Okay.
But no, here I want to share a few other stories.
All right.
This is a particular patient, young guy, early 20s. When you look at that, Randy, what do you see? I'll tell you what most people see. They see someone that's in a lot of trouble. I see someone that's in a lot of pain, someone that's afraid, or maybe they just feel like, I can't afford to do this. but we will always find a solution for those patients. So when you look at this patient, there's broken teeth, there's a lot of decay. It's kind of actually a hard picture to look at. He's going to lose a lot of his teeth. This guy is headed towards a full denture. And remember, he's a young guy. He's in his early 20s. So when you look at what we did afterwards, this changes your whole perspective on what dentistry can do. So when you look at this, he no longer has to worry about a denture. He went from a situation where he couldn't smile, bad breath, hurting teeth, into this. It almost looks, this is the smile of a model.
It looks good, yeah.
Right? So aside from just changing the teeth, we're changing someone's life. This guy can date now. He can have friends that aren't going to tease him about his teeth. Look, remember, I had some ruthless brothers. My teeth were terrible when I was a kid, and they were ruthless. So, in a sense, I kind of know what a lot of my patients went through.
I thought it was nice. We're talking in the green room about this guy, and I said, "Too bad we can't." I go, "Could we show the face?" And you said you don't want his friends to make fun of him because now I guess he's known for just having this beautiful smile.
Exactly, because
like nobody even knows that's the old guy.
No one knows that's the old guy, and the funny thing is, his teeth had defined him before, but now his smile defines him. It's a big difference. If you have bad teeth, people are going to look at you kind of differently. They may treat you a little bit differently. Because here's the thing. If you're not happy with your smile, you're going to learn how to hide it. I see this all the time.
You can spot it.
I can spot it.
Okay.
They'll put their hand over their mouth, or they won't smile in pictures, or they'll turn to one side. If you're that type of person that's learned how to hide your smile, and you've got other problems going on, we're here to help fix your whole mouth. This type of guy, he's not defined by his bad teeth anymore. He's defined by his personality and his true self and his smile.
They ever try to give you a hug?
Oh yeah, all the time.
All the time. Yeah. Do they ever say like, you changed my life? They try to give you credit?
Yes, every day. And I'll tell you what, I have the best team in dentistry I think there is. And it is a team effort. But yes.
So, yeah, but you're a dentist, right? I mean, you probably think the smile's the most important thing.
I'm going to prove that to you.
Okay.
Okay, because I want you to look at this picture here. So this is another makeover or reconstruction on the TV show.
Okay.
Okay, so when I get these patients from the doctors from the TV show, a lot of times I instantly know, I can see the end before they even...
So you have a consult with her.
I have a consult. She's shy. She's being held back by her job. She goes out and she meets with these, she runs a food bank. And
she just hides her smile?
She hides her smile. And so she's not able to make the contacts that she needs because people think that she's grouchy because she's not smiling. I know that I can change all of that. When we talk about, well, to me, the smile is the most important thing. Yeah. It is, because not only is it going to change the personality, but it's also going to change the way that the whole face looks. So when you look at her before and after photo, and you look at her after photo, take a look at that.
Wow.
That's a completely different person. Rather than going from a forced smile where she's embarrassed or doesn't know what to do, or someone that's maybe scared or is in pain.
But that's got to be unusual to see teeth like that.
No, here's the thing, Randy, I see teeth like that all the time. There's not a day in my office that someone doesn't come in with a situation like this. And I know when I look at that, I know what the end result is going to be. So now I just need to help my patients realize, look, we are going to get you to a better place.
But this is really, back to the before and after. I mean, she is, because you told me in the green room, it makes them more attractive, right? And I was dismissing it a little bit, saying, well, it's just teeth. But I think anybody would agree she's more attractive in the after.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny, the comment that her husband had, he said, she even smiles in her sleep. He rolls over and she's smiling in her seat because she's so happy about it. She'd waited a long time to do this because she didn't know where to go. She was afraid, and she was afraid of what the result might be. And so when I showed her the before and afters and what we can do in a reconstruction, all those fears went away. She said, okay, I trust you, doc. Let's do this.
Did some of the teeth have to be extracted?
Some of the teeth had to be extracted.
So like dental implants involved?
Dental implants, veneers, biomimetics, all of those things that are going to help her keep her smile that way for the rest of her life. So here's the other problem in dentistry. People go through a dental cycle. They get fillings when they're a kid. Those turn into bigger fillings, then those turn into crowns, and those turn into root canals, and then implants. And there seems like there's no end to it.
It's a lot of money, you're right.
It's a lot of money, and it's a lot of dental visits. But we can stop that dental cycle with what we call biomimetic dentistry. And what that means is we're using newer, stronger materials.
Like you don't carve down the teeth
We don't carve down the teeth.
when you're doing things
We're
as
using,
much.
Right, we're using
Okay.
stronger materials and we're more conservative, which means we're not carving the tooth down. So if you've been told, oh, hey, you need a crown, you need to find out, is it the old type of crown where they're shaving your whole tooth down? Or are they using more conservative
So it's called biomimetic crown.
biomimetic crown or biomimetic,
That's just where you don't. carve
biomimetic
down the-
restoration is what I would
Okay.
call it. Yep.
All right. And does it cost more to do it that way?
No, it actually costs
Well,
less.
I mean, logically, why would they all do it? Look, I don't know what you're talking about as far as whether what you're saying is accurate, but could there be an expert here that would say, no, it's not better than a traditional crown?
Here's the thing, there's research that shows it is better than a traditional crown.
Okay.
All right, here's the question to ask. You ask a dentist, would you rather have a biomimetic restoration or a crown? Ask them what they would want to do.
And they would all want it this way.
If they understood it, absolutely.
So the new type of crown. And you say less than 5% of dentists across the country
Well,
are
it-
even doing this type of crown.
Well, here's the
Is that
thing.
true?
You know, it's newer materials, it's newer techniques, and it's catching up. You know, as dentists, we kind of learned what we.
Is it harder to do, by the way? 'Cause
It
I'm
do-
trying to
it-
figure out why
yes.
they wouldn't all do it this way.
It takes more time. It does.
the dentist.
It takes more time for the dentist to do, but in the long run, it's better for the patient.
But when because it lasts longer.
It lasts longer. It keeps the tooth intact. We're not shaving away good tooth structure.
Because crowns, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but a traditional crown, you told me this in there, that because they carve it down, it goes over the tooth.
Right.
So when there's decay, you don't find out about it until it's too late.
A lot of times.
Sometimes.
Yep. A lot of times, yeah. That decay will go up underneath the crown.
So you end up losing your tooth. So this can save teeth possibly?
It could save teeth, possibly. Yes.
Okay, good. So Dr. Joe Willardsen. So do you feel like you're at the top of your game? I can't help but get excited about what you're talking
You
about.
always ask me that question, but I do. I feel like I'll tell you what. I don't know that there's many other dentists that are more passionate about what they do, and have seen the results that I've seen, and have seen people's lives change as much as I've seen.
Okay, good, good. We have time for a few more photos. What are we looking
good.
at?
I brought lots of photos. You know, here's another situation. A young girl missing a tooth. Look, pretty girl. So when you look at this smile, she's missing teeth, she's missing back teeth, her bite is off. This is a very pretty girl, but when she smiles, all bets are off. She's not going to get the modeling jobs or whatever. She's a model. She's not going to get the jobs that she wanted. She came in with a tooth that came in and out, and she's, look, doc, I need help. What am I going to do?
How'd she hear about you? She saw you on TV?
Saw me on TV.
Okay.
Yep, saw me on TV. So we knew that we needed to fix her whole mouth. So what's happening here is she's not smiling. She's not getting the jobs that she wants. She's not confident. And so when you look at the after, again,
Take a look.
I want you to notice something. Notice how she's holding herself, how she's smiling bigger, how the hair changes, how the makeup changes. It's not just about having straight white teeth, Randy. If that were the case, you know, it's about changing your personality and getting back to where you once were.
Now we're short on time, so we have time for maybe one or two more photos.
Okay. So Randy, here's another full mouth reconstruction. Missing teeth in the back, gummy smile. When you look at the after, we've restored the bite, we put the implants in, we got rid of the gummy smile. That's a different guy. Look at this one. Spacing on the lower teeth, bites messed up, pushing the teeth out. Same sort of thing. When you look at this, she has like a Julia Roberts smile. She's got that nice wide arch. She's smiling big. The color's pretty. This is a person that went from someone that was afraid to smile or ashamed or didn't know where to go or had put it off for a long time or had kept my number and didn't ever call, to someone that actually made the call and let us walk them through this process. Because it's a pretty simple process once we get going. So this is more than cosmetic dentistry. We're removing teeth, we're saving the bite. Think of it like this. If your car is out of alignment, what wears out first? The tires. And it's the same thing. If we don't address the whole mouth,
The way the teeth come together.
the way the teeth come together, if we don't address the whole mouth, things are gonna break, they're gonna wear unevenly. So it wasn't just doing cosmetics, we needed to address the full mouth. And so that's what we did.
Okay, okay.
So again, you know, you look at some of these other pictures where This is another patient where they had worn everything out because their bite was off. So it wasn't just about cosmetics. This was going in and addressing what some of the cosmetics wouldn't have done on its own. We have to look at the whole picture. And when you look at the after, look at that. It's no longer worn down, old man looking teeth.
All right.
This is something that's going to last the rest of his life. It's going to function the way that it's supposed to. And it looks good. His wife loves it. His wife would come on every single appointment and give me a little bit of instruction, like, oh no.
Really?
Yeah, that's a little too round or that's a little too square. But you know what? It's okay. I like it because I like the feedback. Because I don't want all my smiles or my reconstructions to be the same. Because there is sort of a cosmetic component that goes into this that we have to make sure that even though the teeth are coming together, everything has to fit their personality as well. Last one, I mean, there's been a lot here. So what we see here is missing teeth, broken down teeth, and then you look at the full smile when everything's all together and everything functions together. When we've gone in and addressed the bite, addressed the broken teeth, addressed where the implants need to go, this is when we go in and rebuild the whole bite and get the smile exactly where we want it.
We're out of time. Good stuff, by the way. Love these photos. When they go to your website, there's tons of photos on there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, lots of photos.
And there's also a bunch of video from you on the show,
Yep.
the network hit show, the doctors. Final message to somebody, you call it full mouth reconstruction. Their mouth is falling apart, right?
Right.
They know they don't want dentures,
Right.
but their mouth is falling apart. What do you say to them? And they think they're too far gone.
They think they're too far gone. They don't know where to go. They've put it off. They've lived with it for a long time. You can't keep going this direction because it's going to end up being more and more expensive the longer that you put it off. And the other thing is enjoy your smile now because 10 years goes really fast. Look where you were at 10 years ago. You don't want to put it off because it gets more expensive and it limits you. That's the bottom line.
We're out of time. I want to thank you for coming to the show. Welcome back, by the way. And good to see your success on the show, The Doctors. And I know you teach dentists from, I guess, all over the country.
Yep.
Fly in and you teach them this.
These new, how to rebuild someone's life.
All right. Thanks, Dr. Joe. You've been watching The Wellness Hour. I'm Randy Alvarez. For now, I wish you good health.
Thanks for watching The Wellness Hour, the leader in medical news with your host, Randy Alvarez, the authority on health issues.